I hope your day is full of planes and trains and jets and helicopters and taxis and mopeds and scooters and bikes and trikes. And guys, it's a transportation intro, okay? Planes, trains, automobiles, all of the things. I am reporting live from home. I am doing a solo episode of my podcast because I am about to go to New York. I'm leaving for New York tomorrow morning, so I'm recording this podcast in advance. And it's a solo podcast because I didn't have time to orchestrate anything else. So thank you guys so much for continuing to support Shenk. It's a independent small podcast, but it's continuing to grow, and I'm very loyal and very consistent about putting out my episodes no matter what. I know that some people have been complaining about the audio levels. That's something I'm trying to work out. So I appreciate your patience and your tolerance and your support. Let me tell you my schedule. I'm going to be in New York. If you're in New York, it's Wednesday, October 5th, meaning last night Kim and I did a live podcast at the Stand. But if you're in New York and you want to come see me, let me tell you my dates right now. I'm going to be at Sony Hall with Joey Coco Diaz this Saturday, October 8th. But then in addition to that, I'm going to be at the Stand. I have a few different spots at the Stand. October 6th and 7th, I'll be at the Stand. You can find out exactly where and what time by heading over to my Instagram at Princess Shenk. I post all my shows on there as always. And then I'm heading to Vegas. So the next 2 weeks, I imagine they're going to be solo podcasts. I'll be consistent with it. I always put out an episode. I don't know how long they will be, but I will do the best I can to get these episodes out. I also had an editor quit, so I'm in the process of restructuring some things. So just hang with me, bear with me, and I will bring you A+ comedy content, my little honeys. Guys, the Patreon, if you're not on my Patreon, you're missing out. I put a bunch of different stuff on there, behind the scenes videos. You also get This Bitch Podcast a week early. So if you're a fan of This Bitch Podcast, if you want to see behind the scenes videos, we're going to be doing behind the scenes videos at Skankfest in New York and a lot of fun stuff coming up. So head over to the Patreon at just $5 a month to support your girl. Okay. Also, look down at your feet right now. Are you wearing socks? If you're not wearing socks, ask yourself why. Socks are essential. They're an important, you know what? They're crucial. They're essential. They're crucial. They're important because they protect your most delicate assets besides your junk or your puss, your toes. Toes are now a form of currency, guys. Treat your toes the way they deserve to be treated. Buy a pair of Oh Yeah socks. Head over to ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's, HYEAH.com. Discount code Sarah10 for 10% off unique sock designs. Nobody wakes up and says, you know what? I wish I had less socks today. What I love about Oh Yeah socks is that they have so many fun, unique designs to choose from, whether you're into Mr. Rogers or the Brady Bunch or aliens or fruit or plants or whatever you fucks with, there's a pair of socks for you, and it's a great way to support the people who support your favorite podcast, Shenk. Okay. Also, This Bitch Podcast released some merch. I've shared the link to that on my Twitter and my Instagram as well. So if you're a honey, there's lots of shirts. There's 2 different styles of shirts to choose from. So go check those out as well. And let's get into this week's episode of Shenk with me, Shenk. Okay, I put up questions, and so let's get into some of the questions that you guys want to know the answers to. There's some weird ass questions, but we're going here. This is what happens when I leave it up to you guys to send the questions. Okay, first question is top 5 men icks. and this is an important one. Men, okay, the top 5 men icks for me. 1, men who don't floss. You gotta floss. You gotta have good oral hygiene. Nothing grosser than a man has gum disease. If you're trying to eat this pussy, don't come at me with gum disease, okay? I need freshly flossed teeth. That's the first ick. The second ick is men with dirty showers. If I get in your shower and I'm seeing literal life forms on the wall, i.e. mold, whether it be black mold, pink mold, or like, ew. And I don't want to see your pubes in the shower either. I need you to have a clean bathroom. I find that a lot of men do not have clean bathrooms. Like, I don't want to walk. Okay, I understand that the toilet bowl might be open. The toilet lid might be open because that's how you guys pee. That's annoying, but that's not a deal breaker for me. What's a deal breaker for me is if I walk in, the seat's open and there's like piss and shit stains. You know? Like, attention to detail in regards to your bathroom is essential. Also, please clean your sheets. Clean your sheets once a week. This is for men and women. Top 5 men icks is men who don't clean their sheets, men who have moldy showers and weird toilet situations, men who don't floss, men who talk about their bro time and like need their bro time. It's a lot for me. Like, that's an ick. If you have a bunch of bros and you guys go out and like do bro stuff, I mean, I want you to have friends, but I don't want you to I don't want it to be like, oh, you're with the boys again. Like, that's an ick for me. What else? Cum socks is an ick. Like, if I go over to your house and there's a sock on the floor. I mean, I also have seen some shit because I'm in comedy, so you know, men in comedy, their hygiene, I gotta be honest, questionable for sure. So these are just like basic things that I think people in general, men and women, it's like, bitch, clean your shower. No one wants to see a dirty shower. I don't like being in something dirty when I'm trying to get clean. Does that make sense? Because I feel like it's counterproductive. It's like, I don't want to be soaping myself up and looking at the wall and being like, fuck, the wall needs to be cleaned too, you know? I've seen some gnarly shower situations. Another ick for me is men who have 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. It's like splurge, buy a shampoo and a conditioner. Anything that's 2 for 1, I feel like you're missing something. I feel like it's almost too good to be true, you know? Like, I need you to have a separate body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. These are just basic human things that I'm passionate about. Okay, this is an insane question, but I'm gonna entertain this. Someone says, if we lived underwater, what would we look like and how would we fuck? First of all, I don't understand how we get underwater, but if we are underwater, I'm going with like a classic mermaid scenario. Like, our legs become a fin. What is that called? Like a tail? A tail. Our legs become a tail and we can kind of like, I imagine us looking like mermaids, and I don't know how we would fuck, because I don't know how you have a pussy and also a fin. But Ariel did it. Obviously, we would have to have some type of gills. Isn't that how fish breathe? Gills? I don't know. Probably not the best question to try to answer. Like, also, yes, I'm sweating. And by sweating, I mean glowing. Okay. Let's see. I have more questions. If you had 72 hours to live and unlimited money, what would you do? 72 hours to live. For some reason, I'm envisioning myself in Paris. Yeah. I want to be in Paris. I don't know why. I just want to be like walking through the streets of Paris with a beret and a baguette and a bottle of wine and like a hot French dude with good dick. And we would just fuck and eat good food and walk through the streets of Paris, baby. That's what I would do with the last 72 hours of my life. Okay, let's see what more questions. No, I also have notes that I wrote down. So someone said, do I have a joke that doesn't work, and what joke is it? And so I have this joke that I still believe in the premise of, which is that the beach is disgusting. And I had a friend who invited me to a beach cleanup, and I don't ever want to go to a beach cleanup. Like, ew. But the premise was just like bashing the beach. But when I do the joke in beach heavy towns like La Jolla, San Diego, people look at me like I'm a literal monster. Like I'm Satan reincarnated in the female form. They're like, how could you bash the beach? When you tell people who are beachheads that the beach is not great, they do not respond well to it. Okay. Let's see what else I have. Okay, yeah. Right now, this is important. This is very important, actually. We're entering my least favorite season. We're entering fall. Okay? Now, there's fall hose and summer hose, spring hose, winter hose. By hose, I mean women. You get it. You guys are cool. There could also be, men can be hosed too, you know? So there's all different types of seasonal hose. For me personally, I thrive best in the spring. The summer heat is a little much for me. I like the longer days though. I like being in the sun. I feel like it invigorates me. It gives me life. The fall, not for me. Suddenly, my seasonal allergies are acting up. Suddenly, all the mentally ill bitches are coming out and they're dressed up as the Grim Reaper for no reason. All of a sudden, it's just not my vibe. I don't want to jump into a stack of crisp leaves. It seems messy to me. I feel like fall, the people who push fall are off. Because at the end of the day, it's just another season that triggers my allergies. And I don't know. Okay, I'm at the age right now where women are having babies just so that they can take them to pumpkin patches and put them on a bale of hay surrounded by pumpkins and snap a picture and post that to Instagram. That's what I think motherhood is as a white woman. I think it's you have a baby, you take it to a pumpkin patch, you post it on Instagram, you go home, you have some rosé. That's what white bitches do in the fall, sweetie. They drink their pumpkin spice lattes, they throw their baby on a bale of hay, and they keep it moving. And I'm in an in-between phase right now because I'm like, I'm not going to dress up as a slutty devil. I mean, never say never, but I don't see that happening in the near future. I'm not going to dress up as like a slutty Ghostbuster. I'm not going to dress up as a hoary Sherlock Holmes, you know? And I don't have a baby that I can take to a pumpkin patch. So it's a very weird in-between time for me. The fall, they call it cuffing season. The problem is that after cuffing season, the commitment that you made during cuffing season sticks until, you know, the spring. Unless you break up with someone, you find someone for the fall, winter months because they're cold and lonely, and then break up with them for the spring, summer months. I don't know. Just spitballing here. Let's see. I don't know. 5 icks for girl when it comes to women. Okay, mean. I don't like a mean bitch. There's lots of mean women. There's like an epidemic of mean women who cut each other down, and I think that it's the opposite of what we need. We need to lift each other up, and it's easier said than done. I think a lot of women view each other as being competitors when essentially we're sisters, and we're supposed to reach out to each other and be there for each other and help each other lift each other up, as opposed to cutting each other down. And I noticed that men are really good at lifting each other up, and that women, we need work in the space of lifting up other women and being a safe space, a supportive space, because at the end of the day, we're all just humans having this experience. So for me, there's nothing more gross than a woman who is mean to another woman, or a man that's mean. I don't like mean people in general. Those are 2 icks. Also, if you're a man or a woman, this is kind of either gender, don't come in with so much perfume. If you're wearing too much perfume, red flag. It's like, what are you covering? It's like, bitch, take a shower, you know? Men can be bitches, women can be bitches. Guys, shower. Don't not shower and then try to cover that up with an overpowering scent, because you're not tricking anybody. There's nothing worse than the scent of BO and then over that, Axe body spray. If you walk in with body odor and Axe body spray, red flag, I'm out. And if you are using okay, this is an ick for me, for men and women, Febreze. But if Febreze wants to sponsor this podcast, then I'm open, okay? No, Febreze, because it reminds me of being in college with all these fucking dudes who didn't wash their sheets or clean their clothes. They just spritzed them with Febreze. And to me, it's just masking the problem. And not only is it masking the problem, it's actually amplifying the problem and making it worse. Because there's nothing worse than the smell of dirt and then like a fake chemical clean laundry scent. You know, it just reminds me of being in college. Okay. Another ick for me when it comes to men and women is people who take rodents and they put them in their house, and this is just an ick in general. Like, why would you take a hamster and then build it this whole play center? I don't get having a hamster. It's like, bitch, get a dog. Go outside, take a walk, travel. You need to take care of a gerbil. There's something mentally wrong with you. I understand kids who have hamsters. It teaches them responsibility. But honestly, I'm pretty fucked up from being a kid when our family friends had this hamster, Henry. And it was like a family of 4, and they treated the hamster as though it was a dog, and the hamster didn't last long, but they would pass it around, and we would all hang out with the hamster, and then they had a ball for it to run around in, and it would cruise around the house. Then one day they put the hamster in the laundry room in its little play center, and it was really hot, and the hamster baked in his little play center. I don't know why I got into this story about a baked hamster. It took a weird direction. And when I say baked hamster, I don't mean a stone hamster. I mean a hamster that was literally cooked. That's sad. Now that I think about it, that's kind of sad and dark. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm not into hamster culture. I'm not into rat culture. Someone who has a snake, mentally ill. Someone who has a tarantula, stay away from me. Anyone who has a weird abstract pet can get lost, kick rocks. I don't want to hear about your ferret. I mean, there's some people who are like, I need to do everything I can do to have this illegal animal in my home. If you're someone who goes above and beyond to get a ferret, there's something wrong with you. You're off, Also, I don't understand. I saw somebody walking their cat on a leash. When I see a cat on a leash, I see a mentally ill person. I don't see like a cute, fun, connected activity. I see, ooh, something went wrong. You don't just walk your cat on a leash unless something went wrong along the way. And that's just the truth, sweetie. They're not dogs. They don't need that type of exercise and stimulation. So to me, it's more for you than it is for the cat. I've never seen a cat that's like, looks like it wanted to be walked on a leash. Most cats are just like, fuck off and don't talk to me. That's the subtext of cat energy, in my opinion. What is your favorite item that you can't live without? Like you take it everywhere or use it every day? This is a good question. My toothbrush. I can't live without brushing my teeth. I don't take it everywhere, but yeah, my toothbrush is one of my favorite items. My phone. What is this? I'm sorry to be so capitalistic talking about material goods, but someone asked, what is your favorite item that you can't live without? Like you take it everywhere or use it every day. It's got to be my phone or my toothbrush. My toothbrush and my phone. If it came down to toothbrush or phone, well, I need the phone to work. But not brushing my teeth or not having access to a toothbrush, nothing sounds worse. I already answered this. I already answered that. Let's see. How do you deal with past regrets? Honey, I don't know. You tell me. I am the person to ask, though. I have lots of regrets. I mean, I think that the best way to deal with past regrets is to learn from them and move on and not repeat the same mistake again in the future. I think the only problem is if you continue to repeat the same mistakes over and over again without learning from them, then that's a problem. But if you have an experience, then you can gain insight from that experience and you don't have to live in that space of regret. Because I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. So yeah, no regrets. YOLO. Ew, I just said YOLO. I'm a 35-year-old woman who just said YOLO. It was sort of ironically, but either way, rough. If you were on Fear Factor, what's just one thing you could not do? There's so many things I could not do on Fear Factor. I don't want anything with a reptile or a rodent. That's out. I think if I had to eat a bug, if it was like a crunchy little guy, I think I could probably muster up the strength to do that. How did I get my fashion sense? This is an interesting question. Okay, so my fashion sense comes from a few different places. I think I was influenced heavily by my mom who loves vintage and the 1950s. And so I love vintage stuff. I love color. I've always loved color and I've always loved dressing myself even since the time I was little. So I love fashion and clothes in general. And then when you're a stand-up comic, you have to be creative with, for me, it's like I don't have an unlimited amount of money. So I thrift. I go to a lot of thrift stores. I find stuff that's cool, that's unique, that I think I can pull off. And then I'll pair it with a basic. And that's kind of how I developed my fashion sense. Where do you get inspiration for your style? I guess everywhere. Like if I see something that I like, normally it's colorful and I just buy it and then I wear it. And I'm not, you know how people, there's like rules in fashion. I don't have any rules. As long as it fits well and it looks good, I'll wear it. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be clean. If it looks cool, I'm never like, oh, I can't pull that off, because I would never put something on that I didn't feel comfortable enough to wear out. Because, okay, for example, I'll give you an example. I went shopping. I almost bought this hat. It was a checkered black and white bucket hat. Then I put it on in the store and I thought, I feel embarrassed looking in the mirror of the store in this. I don't think I could fully wear this out into the world. So yeah, basically I don't think that there are any rules in fashion, except for if you feel like an idiot looking in the mirror by yourself, you're not going to be able to go out proudly into the world in that same outfit. Something else I wanted to touch on are sororities and fraternities. I think those people who are overly identified with Greek life years after being in a sorority or a fraternity, to me, I look at them and I say, something's wrong. Something's off there. I don't want to hear about your Sigma, Chi, Epsilon, Omega. Like, what's happening? It's just a bunch of bitches. Like, do you think Brittany's ever been to Greece? Now she knows the Greek alphabet? Bitch, you bought your friends. This isn't real. These aren't your real family members. There's people who take such pride in their fraternity and sorority years later, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel like, is there nothing else that's going on in your life that you can't let the past be in the past? To me, I went to a small school, so fraternities and sororities, they were just like places for people to interact and socialize, I guess. Like, the fraternity parties were insane. The sorority parties were insane. Like, there would be parties in college and the themes were off the rails. I went to a party called Grandpas and Gold Diggers, and it was just like a bunch of guys dressed up as old men and then a bunch of women in like gold lame push-up bras. I was the woman in the gold lame push-up bra. That was college, baby. Yeah, but no, people who overly identify with Greek life years later, they stress me the fuck out. Because it's like, have you never moved on? Just because you were good at beer bonging when you were 22 doesn't mean that this man is your actual brother. Just because this man poured hot sauce down your pants and then made you drink a ton of tequila until you vomited does not make you brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Greek life stresses me out. It's too much. It's chaotic. To me, it's a red flag. It's a way for people to pay for friends. It's a way for people to feel included. A lot of the Greek life people, they never had friends, and then they got to college and they were like, cool, so just for $5,000 I can buy all these new friends and learn all the alphabet of a language that I don't speak. Like, what's happening? What other things did I want to touch on? Oh, okay. I was thinking about, what if TikTok was around when, like, forever ago? So what if TikTok existed when JFK was fucking Marilyn Monroe and Jackie O was just on TikTok giving self-care tips? Do you know what I mean? Like, the thought of past icons on TikTok makes you realize how dark TikTok is. If you saw Jackie O on TikTok, you would be like, honey, are you okay? Jackie O wouldn't be on TikTok, but the visual of Jackie O just dancing about self-care while her husband was finger banging Marilyn Monroe is a very funny visual to me. What I wrote that down in my notes as something to talk about. I heard, now I don't know if this is true. I'm going to actually fact check this right now, but I heard that McDonald's is bringing these like naughty Happy Meals. I mean, look, Happy Meals, naughty McDonald's. Let's see. Happy Meals for adults. Yeah. McDonald's is releasing new Happy Meals for adults to create one of the most nostalgic experiences. So you can literally open up, I think there's going to be like butt plugs and stuff in them. Let me see. Yeah, I think that they're releasing sex toys in. Is this for real? Let me look. Adult Happy Meals. I mean, imagine going to get a McFlurry and also getting a butt plug. Oh yeah, I'll have a 10-piece chicken nugget, sweet and sour sauce on the side. And yes, I will take those anal beads. Adult Happy Meals? Is this really happening? Let's see. Adult Happy Meal. Handcuffs? Yeah. Okay. Happy Meals for adults. Oh, I think they're just toys. Are they just toys? Let's see. I'm not sure, but the thought of an adult McDonald's Happy Meal is a lot for me. It's like, bitch, if you're needing to drive through McDonald's for a little trinket, something went wrong as an adult. We're just nostalgic for a time where we could get things supersized. Like, what's happening? Okay, wait. Yeah, McDonald's Happy Meal adult versions are coming out soon. When I hear adult versions, I'm thinking, like, am I going to drive through and I'm going to get am I going to get like a vibrator that's in the shape of the Hamburglar, or what's going on? Am I going to drive through and get a Ronald McDonald dildo? What are adult Happy Meals? Why is this happening? We don't need that. Nobody asked for adult Happy Meals. What are they going to put in there? Condoms? Let's see. There's a lot of new and different competition in the fast food space, but one differentiating attribute that new entrants cannot leverage is nostalgia and history. Okay, so yeah, McDonald's is making adult Happy Meals, but when they say adult Happy Meals, the thing I'm thinking of is lube. Are you going to be cruising through the McDonald's and be like, hey, I'll take a $1 apple pie and can you please put the KY in my Happy Meal? You know that things are bad when McDonald's is catering to adults with toys. I don't know. It's end times. That's all I can say. I have a few more things to talk about and then we're going to wrap this episode up. Oh, this is something to think about. Every fuckboy has an origin story. Like, no fuckboy just became a fuckboy. Something had to go wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody wasn't there for the fuckboy originally. Maybe it was their mother. Lots of times it was their mother. And also vice versa, fuck girls. Because I do think there are fuck girls. No one's talking about it. The fuckboys take all the heat. What about the fuck girls? They have daddy issues. So every villain has an origin story, sweetie. Something to think about this week while you're out and about. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this solo episode of Shenk. I anticipate that next week's episode will also be a solo episode of Shenk because I am traveling and I'll be in New York and I'm doing the best I can trying to do 2 podcasts while touring and living my dreams. So I appreciate you guys continuing to tune into the podcast every week, for subscribing, for sharing the podcast with your friends. And you know that you can always find me here on Wednesday. And if you guys have questions for next week's episode, slide in the DMs, let me know. And I'll post something on my Instagram story asking if you guys have questions. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Same place, right here on Shenk. And subscribe to my Patreon. And if you're in New York, make sure to catch a show. I'll be performing at the Stand October 6th, October 7th, October 8th, Sony Hall with the Joey Diaz and Kim Congdon. October 10th, if you're in Los Angeles, I'm back at the Comedy Store in the main room for Ryan Sickler's show. It's a dope lineup. It's Bert Kreischer, Ryan Sickler, I don't know who else. I think Santino. It's like an incredible lineup. Plus me, Kim Congdon, and a few other powerful people. And then I will be in Las Vegas October 13th through the 17th. So if you're going to be at Skankfest, I'll see you there. Come hang out. And if not, thank you guys for continuing to support my show. And I can't tell you how much I value and appreciate all of you guys for tuning in every week. And we'll see you next week on Shenk. Bye.